Imagine locking down the absolute #1 spot on Google for your biggest keyword, right? You are celebrating that massive win with your team, and then you realize you are still completely invisible to a third of your customers.
Oh, man. It's a terrifying wake-up call for anyone who relies on digital traffic.
It really is, and that is the harsh reality as of August 11, 2026.
Right, because the actual physics of the internet have fundamentally shifted. Ranking at the top of a traditional search page, it simply doesn't guarantee the absolute visibility it used to.
Exactly. Welcome to your deep dive. We are anchoring ourselves firmly to the exact date of August 11th, 2026, and we're pulling directly from the incredibly comprehensive SEO Daily Technology Report that just dropped for August 2026.
It's a dense report, too. Lots to unpack.
Oh, absolutely. So the mission here is to deconstruct how the search landscape is just completely fractured. We're going to break down the newest updates to the industry's biggest tools and figure out how you can adapt your digital strategy for an AI-first world.
Because that 1 in 3 statistic you mentioned from the report, that is the pivot point for literally everything we are about to discuss.
Yeah.
Over 33% of consumers are now beginning their search journey by chatting with an AI assistant instead of, typing keywords into a traditional search engine bar.
Which means the entire SEO playbook we've relied on for, 2 decades, it's effectively torn up.
Pretty much shredded.
Right. So before we even touch the software updates, we have to look at the philosophy driving them. The report identifies this macro shift as GEO, Generative Engine Optimization.
Yeah, GEO is absolutely the defining architecture of 2026.
Break that down a bit for us.
Sure. So if traditional SEO was about targeting the search engine results page, the SRPs, right, by trying to match keywords and sort of game the algorithm to get a blue link, well, GEO is entirely different.
Because there are no blue links in a chatbot.
Exactly. GEO is about optimizing your digital footprint so that large language models, or LLMs, choose your content to cite as the factual answer in their generated responses.
Okay, let's unpack this. I always think of traditional SEO like giving a library a really, really good card catalog.
I like that.
Right. You are organizing your information perfectly so that a patron can wander in, check the catalog, and find your book on the shelf. But GEO, it's like bypassing the catalog completely and directly training the librarian to summarize your book for the patron who walks up and asks a complex question.
I love that analogy, but we really have to push it further. What's fascinating here is that the library didn't throw away the card catalog.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's a crucial point.
Right. A massive misconception out there is that GEO is replacing SEO. It isn't. Brands are being forced to optimize for traditional search engines and language models simultaneously, and this is key, independently.
So you still need the card catalog for the traditional searchers.
Yes, but you also have to train the librarian for the AI searchers. It's a dual strategy.
Okay, so how do you actually train that librarian? Because telling an AI to cite you, it kind of sounds like magic.
It does sound like magic, but it's pure data structure. We have to look at the technical bedrock making this possible, starting with a heavy emphasis on entity SEO.
Entity SEO. Okay, walk us through that.
So to understand entity SEO, you have to look at how LLMs process information. They don't read text the way a traditional crawler reads a string of keywords.
Right. They aren't just matching exact phrases.
Exactly. They understand the world through a vast knowledge graph of relationships. So entity SEO is the practice of structuring your content around distinct concepts, specific people, places, organizations, or abstract ideas, and defining exactly how they relate to one another.
So if I'm understanding this, instead of trying to rank for the keyword like best running shoes, you are trying to establish your brand as the authoritative entity connected to the broader concept of marathon footwear durability.
Precisely. You are building semantic trust.
Semantic trust.
Yeah. And to feed those entities directly to the AI, we are seeing an aggressive doubling down on JSON-LD schema markup.
Okay, just to ground this for you listening, JSON-LD is basically that invisible code sitting in your website's header that spoon-feeds structured data to web crawlers.
So that's a great way to describe it.
But we've talked about schema for a decade. The August 2026 report notes a massive resurgence specifically in FAQ schemas. Why the sudden obsession with FAQs?
It all comes down to the extraction mechanism of AI models. LLMs operate entirely on prompt and response mechanics.
Right, you ask a question, it gives an answer.
Exactly. When a user asks an AI assistant a question, the AI is looking for data structure to answer questions. If your website has a perfectly formatted JSON-LD FAQ schema that mirrors the semantic structure of the user's prompt.
Oh, it just lifts it.
Yes. The AI can effortlessly lift that exact Q&A pair and cite you as the source. It massively reduces the computational friction for the model.
Okay, I have to push back here, though. We've been using structured data to feed search engines for years. This feels a little bit like we were taking old school technical SEO and just slapping a trendy AI sticker on it.
I completely see why it looks that way on the surface. I really do. But there is a totally new technical layer that separates August 2026 from the past.
Okay, what is it?
The report points out the rapid, almost aggressive adoption of the llms.txt file.
The llms.txt file.
Yeah. As of August 11th, 2026, 5 to 15% of major websites have already deployed this, and it is accelerating daily.
That is genuinely new. What exactly is an llms.txt file, and how does it actually differ from the schema markup we just talked about?
Well, think about what a traditional web page actually is.
Hmm?
HTML is visually cluttered.
Oh, it's a mess.
It's full of CSS classes, navigation menus, sidebar widgets, pop-ups, footer links. When an LLM tries to scrape that page, it has to burn computational power, parsing the document object model just to figure out where your actual article begins and ends.
Even with schema markup helping.
Yeah, schema helps categorize the page, but the AI still has to dig through the visual mess to read the full context.
So llms.txt removes the mess.
It bypasses the visual web entirely. It is a plain text file sitting at the root of your domain, just like a robots.txt file. But it contains a clean, markdown formatted directory of your site's most critical information.
So you are basically spoon-feeding the AI.
You are explicitly telling the AI, do not bother parsing my HTML. If you want to ingest my data and cite my facts, read this pure, unformatted text file. It is a direct, machine-to-machine communication protocol.
That is brilliant. It's essentially a silver platter for the LLM.
A very efficient silver platter, yeah.
So we have the technical pipes laid down, we've got our entities mapped, our schemas feeding the logic, and our llms.txt files serving up the raw data.
The plumbing is flawless.
Right. But what about the actual words on the page? How are content creators changing the way they write to ensure the AI actually wants to extract their content?
This is where we see a fascinating split in the software market. The report highlights two major platforms dominating content optimization as of August 2026.
Right.
Surfer SEO and ClearScope.
Okay, I've used both of those over the years.
They represent two very different approaches to the exact same problem.
Let's start with Surfer. Surfer SEO is sitting at about $89 a month, and they have evolved far, far beyond just telling you to add more keywords to your H2 headers.
Oh, way beyond.
The massive August 2026 update they just rolled out introduces a dedicated GEO score.
Which is huge.
Right. It evaluates the exact extractability of your content for AI assistance. But the feature that really caught my eye in the report is their live audit tool.
The live audit is a massive engineering leap. Seriously. Traditional optimization tools compare your draft against a static snapshot of a Google search results page.
Like it just pulls what was ranking yesterday.
Exactly. But Surfer's new audit actually queries live API endpoints of major AI search surfaces.
Wait, live? While you're writing?
Yes. It measures the mathematical vector distance between what your article says and what the AI is currently outputting for that topic.
Yeah.
It tells you, in real time, where your content is semantically misaligned with the machine's current understanding.
That is wild. Then on the other side of the spectrum, you have ClearScope.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah, this is the enterprise heavy hitter, running about $189 a month. Their content grade now factors in AI extractability signals too, but their major 2026 edition is an AI-assisted brief generation tool.
Which fundamentally changes editorial workflows.
It builds editorial outlines based on the structural overlaps between top-performing traditional content and AI-cited content.
Lining that perfect Venn diagram of what works for both.
Exactly. So if you are listening to this and you're sitting there looking at your team's software budget, at what point do you justify the $189 ClearScope enterprise rigor over Surfer's $89 platform?
You really have to look at your primary bottleneck. Are you constrained by volume or by complexity?
Okay, volume versus complexity.
Right. Surfer SEO is built for scale. If you're an agency churning out dozens of informational articles a week and you need to ensure every single piece hits baseline extractability benchmarks without slowing down your writers, Surfer is your tool.
So Surfer is your high-speed assembly line, and ClearScope is your white-glove quality assurance.
That captures it perfectly. ClearScope uses deeply rigorous natural language processing to ensure absolute semantic relevance.
So for high-stakes content.
Yes. If you manage an enterprise site dealing with YMYL topics, your money or your life, like medical, legal, or deep financial advice, You simply cannot afford a hallucination or a missed nuance.
Because one bad AI extraction could ruin your brand's credibility.
Exactly. You need that $189 depth to guarantee the AI doesn't just extract your sentences, but comprehensively understands the authoritative context behind them.
But here is the terrifying part about publishing this newly optimized AI-ready content.
Uh-oh.
Traditional analytics won't tell you if the AI actually read it.
Oh, this is the massive blind spot.
Right. If an LLM reads your llms.txt file and uses your data to answer a user's question directly in the chat interface, the user never clicks your link, you get 0 page views.
0. Just a ghost interaction.
How on earth do you track ROI for that?
Well, data tracking had to completely reinvent itself. The report outlines an absolute arms race in the analytics space right now, and we can group these tools into 2 camps: the heavy-duty command centers and the hyper-focused specialists.
Let's start with the command centers, both sitting at that $129 a month tier. I was looking at Semrush One's new dashboard, and they have completely integrated AI overview analytics.
It's about time.
You can finally see which of your specific pages are being cited in Google's AI-generated answers at the top of the search results.
Semrush provides the breadth, absolutely.
Right.
But Ahrefs brand radar provides the depth.
Ours is always about the deep crawl.
Always. Ahrefs has always leveraged an insanely fast web index, updating every 15 to 30 minutes. But their August 2026 brand radar update does something incredible.
Yeah.
It tracks which sources the LLMs inherently trust most in your specific niche.
Okay, wait. How is RS possibly determining what an LLM trusts? They don't have access to OpenAI's proprietary algorithm.
No, they don't. They do it through massive data correlation.
Right.
Ahrefs cross-references their proprietary index of the entire internet against the known open-source training corpuses that foundational models use.
That is a staggering amount of data.
It is. They analyze the overlaps in backlink authority and citation frequency to mathematically deduce which domains carry the most weight in the AI's internal vector space.
That is some heavy-duty reverse engineering. But what if you don't need all that enterprise data?
Most people don't, honestly.
Right. What if you are just a brand watching your organic traffic bleed out because AI is stealing your clicks and you need to stop the bleeding today?
Then you look at the specialists. Peec AI is a fantastic granular tool for exactly that problem.
Peek AI.
Yeah. It tracks citation frequency and sentiment, but its most valuable feature is format tracking.
Format tracking, meaning like text versus video.
More like structure. It tells you precisely how the AI prefers to ingest your niche's data. If Peec AI reveals that ChatGPT is only citing bulleted lists for your primary topic, you immediately pivot your editorial strategy away from long-form paragraphs.
Oh, you just give the machine what it wants.
Exactly.
Now here is where it gets really interesting. The specialist tool that blew my mind in this report is Audit.ai.
Oh, Audit is wild.
Their dashboard is super intuitive, but their standout feature is prompt tracking. They are giving marketers the ability to see the literal conversations, the specific human prompts that lead an AI to recommend your brand.
It feels like cheating. Almost.
But how on earth are they legally getting that data? You can't just wiretap Perplexity or ChatGPT.
No, you definitely cannot do that. Audit operates on aggregated, anonymized clickstream data.
Okay.
They partner with massive networks of browser extensions and utilize strategic data APIs.
Yeah.
They aren't hacking the AI, they're observing the user's browser session.
Oh, I see.
They see the anonymized prompts the user types, and then they track the subsequent click when the AI provides a citation link. By analyzing millions of these sessions, they reverse engineer the prompt path that leads to your website.
That is incredible. It shifts your entire marketing strategy from guessing user intent to literally reading the prompt intent.
It changes everything about keyword research.
And we absolutely have to mention the budget play in this ecosystem, SE ranking.
Yep, for $71.20 a month, their AI search toolkit combined with SE Visible is probably the highest ROI package on the market for smaller teams.
The report highlights them specifically for local SEO. Why is that?
Well, think about how people use AI assistants on their phones. They ask, what's the best highly rated Italian place near me open right now?
Very conversational, very hyper-local.
Exactly. Local AI search requires a totally different data set. It relies heavily on real-time location APIs and review aggregates.
Yeah.
SE Ranking has built their multi-platform AI tracking to specifically monitor those localized generative responses.
Which is a complete lifeline for brick-and-mortar businesses operating on leaner margins.
Without a doubt.
So if you are listening to this and trying to build your own toolkit, it really comes down to the problem you are actively solving. If you need raw backlink data and trust metrics, RFs is your foundation. If you manage a massive team and need traditional and AI metrics in one dashboard, Semrush One. And if you are local or mid-size, SE ranking gives you the visibility without the enterprise bloat.
And this is a massive, but all of those analytics tools,
Well,
all of the clear scope briefs, and even the most perfectly formatted llms.txt file will do absolutely nothing for you if the AI crawler hits a technical brick wall on your server.
oh man. Which brings us to the final and arguably most important piece of the puzzle, fixing the plumbing.
Technical SEO.
Yes, we are talking about technical SEO auditing. And even in August 2026, with all this cloud computing power, the desktop standard remains screaming frog.
It is the undisputed king of technical crawling. You get 500 URLs for free, and unlimited crawling is only $290 a year.
Why is the desktop crawler still so dominant when literally everything else has moved to the cloud?
Cloud crawlers often struggle with JavaScript rendering budgets.
Mm.
Modern websites are essentially complex web apps now.
Right, very dynamic.
If your content relies on JavaScript to load, a cloud crawler might time out before the text even appears. Screaming Frog renders that JavaScript locally on your machine.
Using your own computer's power.
Exactly. It catches the severe structural issues that break AI extraction things, like massive redirect chains or orphan pages.
Just to anchor that term for you, an orphan page is a page on your site that exists but has absolutely no internal links pointing to it.
It's just floating in the void.
Right. If humans can't click to it, an AI crawler definitely won't find it. But Screaming Frog's major August 2026 update isn't just about finding errors, is it? It's about AI-powered issue prioritization.
And this is the game changer. Doing a technical audit used to be completely paralyzing.
Oh, I've been there.
You run a crawl on a large site, and it spits out a spreadsheet with 40,000 errors. Missing tags, blocked resources, 404s.
You hand that to a development team and they just freeze.
Of course they do, because everything looks critical, but they only have 10 hours of sprint time to fix it.
It's like getting a 500-page medical bill in a language you don't speak.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. This new AI prioritization engine in Screaming Frog solves that exact friction. It now takes every single crawl error and mathematically calculates its estimated traffic impact.
But how does it calculate traffic impact from, say, a broken link?
It cross-references the specific error against your live Google Search Console data, your current keyword rankings, and the domain's internal link graph.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks at an orphan page and says, based on the search volume for the concepts on this page and the authority it's bleeding, fixing this specific JavaScript error will yield a 14% increase in crawl efficiency and potential visibility.
You are no longer handing developers a list of broken things.
No, you are handing them a prioritized roadmap of revenue opportunities.
It turns a massive headache into an actionable business case.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean for you? If we zoom all the way out and look at this entire landscape as of August 11th, 2026.
The big picture.
SEO is no longer a battle for a blue link on a page. It is a fundamental race to become the trusted source data for the world's most powerful language models.
That is exactly what it is.
You have to translate your brand's expertise into a highly structured, entity-driven language that machines can flawlessly extract and confidently repeat to their users.
It is the most profound shift in information distribution since the invention of the search engine itself.
Yeah.
Honestly. But taking all of this in the GEO scores, the schema, the text files, it actually raises a really critical question about the future of the web.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, think about it. If every single brand on the internet successfully implements these exact strategies, if everyone standardizes their content via llms.txt, and everyone perfectly structures their data to be flawlessly digested by AI, does the web just become one massive homogenized database?
Oh, wow.
If absolute technical perfection becomes the standard baseline, how does a brand actually stand out?
If we think back to that library catalog we talked about at the beginning, when every single book is perfectly summarized and structured the exact same way for the librarian, maybe the only way to capture attention isn't to fit neatly into the AI's directory.
Right. Will the next era of discovery actually require brands to intentionally break these rules?
To rebel a little bit.
Exactly. To stand out through human unpredictability, creative friction, and formatting that forces the AI to recognize something entirely unique. Optimization is essential for survival today, but absolute conformity might be the real danger tomorrow.
That is something for all of us to chew on as we adapt to this new reality. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the August 11, 2026 landscape. Keep questioning the systems around you, keep testing these new tools against your own data, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.